guys, and welcome back to another episode of my F4 Mobile Racing Career Mode. We are here for episode number 16 today for the Belgian Grand Prix in Season 2. If you guys did miss the previous episode at the British Grand Prix, definitely be sure to go check that one out before you see this one. As you can see, we just claimed 10 of the blueprints. And coming into Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix, I'm actually excited for this to see where our new car can go. Hopefully the higher power unit will allow us to attack more and hopefully win the race. So let's get on with qualifying. Coming into qualifying, looks like Bottas is putting the fast lap ahead of Hamilton, Perez, Norris, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Vettel, Ocon, Sainz, and Leclerc, completing the top 10. And Gasly's down there in 13th place. I'm surprised Gasly hasn't been up that high considering how good he is in real life. Anyways, the time we have to chase it around, I think a 150 or something. I'm not even sure, to be honest. I don't look very carefully. So start now the lap. Head down the main straight. Don't open DRS. If you want to get this first corner right, and we pretty much get that right as we come out of the corner and then now power our way through and towards Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Very, very fast corners. You cannot touch the curb with a little loose speed. Come up the Eau Rouge and Raidillon, and that was pretty smooth, I must say. But we do touch the curb a little bit now, slowed us down a little bit. Otherwise, I think we're fine if we get an open DRS. Slide down the straight, about 170, I would say, as we approach the next corner, the Lake Combe chicane, 168 as we hit our brakes, down to 4th gear, and actually 3rd as we hit those two apexes perfectly, and now coming to the 3rd apex, we hit that one perfectly as well. Now coming towards the downhill right-hander, hard on the brakes, down to 3rd gear, hug that inside, get on the power nice and early, get on that apex curve, get over to the right-hand side, flat out through this left-hander, and now set ourselves up with a long left-hander pull on. Now we get ready. No need to lift, no need to brake, even though the racing tells us to. And coming towards the next chicane, increasing the speed pretty high as we hit about 169 miles an hour, and now brake to 5th gear, and then get through these corners absolutely spot on. And now coming towards the right-hander for the crucial exit down to 3rd gear, and we get a good exit in the second time. They're saying 36.89, first green sector, and then the second one was a purple sector, 45.171. So let's see how we do in the final sector here as we come on the back straight towards Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane. Here we go, then flat out through the left hand, and no need to lift. And now getting ready for the bus stop chicane. It's going to be a hard break, so it's crucial we're going to get this one right as we go down the gears, down to 2nd gear, hit the apex, and we floor the gas, but we go a bit too wide. But it's okay, DRS wide open. How much is it going to cost us though as we cross the line? Here we go, across the line. And it's going to be P2, so it looks like that exit did cost us pole position, but that's alright. We're behind Bottas, but ahead of Hamilton, Perez, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, and Vettel. So now, let's get on with the race. Here's the starting grid. It's Bottas, us, Hamilton, Perez, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, Vettel, Ocon, Stroll, Raikkonen, Alonso, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Mazepin, Russell, Schumacher, and Latifi complete the grid. So, why don't we get on with this race? And here we go as we get ready. 5 red lights. The Belgian Grand Prix here in Season 3. And it's lights out. And away we go, and it's a good start from us. Bottas still gets a better start. We move over to the right side and cover up Lewis Hamilton. We try to find a way through. Coming to the first corner, we accidentally ran into the back of Valtteri Bottas. We did a decent exit, as now it's a drag race between me and Valtteri Bottas towards Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Bottas has got the advantage on us, and we're going to slot him behind him as it comes towards the next sequence of corners. Hamilton's also right behind us as well as they come up through the corners. Flat out, no need to lift. I think Bottas has got an issue here as it comes, and we go sailing by him. And here comes Sebastian Vettel beam would be inserted there. I think Bottas had an issue at the top of Raidillon, and that's allowed him to drop behind and give us a gap as they come towards the Lake Combe chicane down to 4th gear. Get these two apexes perfectly, and then the 3rd apex right. And now that will settle us for the right-hander. 39.891 as our first sector time. And we go a bit wide here, but we do get the undercut line. We get a good exit out of here. And now coming towards the left-hander flat out. No need to lift. And there we got a gap to Bottas, 1.8 seconds. Perez has moved up to 3rd. Hamilton back down to 4th place as it comes through the long left-hander. No need to lift. And now coming towards the next sequence of corners. 166 miles an hour. And about 167. No, we just missed that. Down to 5th gear. Hug close to those apexes. Now coming towards the right hand, which is going to be crucial for the exit. Down to 3rd gear. Get the power down nice and early. And coming out of this next corner should be good. And as we come towards the long back straight, we You see the Bottas starting to close down on us. Remember that Mercedes power unit is very powerful, and it's much better than the AlphaTauri to come through the left-hander towards the launch one. You can see the gap is now down to only just a second. Now less a second as he is slowly closing his way, and it's now 8 tenths, 7 tenths as it comes towards the bus stop chicane. Down to second gear. Get this apex perfectly. Don't floor the gas, just now floor it. And we get away from Valtteri Bottas nicely, who did close the gap quite significantly in that last sector. So we're going to be very careful that coming towards La Source, down the second gear, hit that apex perfectly, and get a good exit for the run towards Eau Rouge, Raidillon, and the Camel Straight. We got a decent gap between me and Valtteri Bottas as you come towards Eau Rouge and Raidillon for the second time. Don't touch the curb, just stay on the asphalt, and this time we don't touch the curb, and we get through this perfectly. And luckily, I think Bottas may have an issue. Yeah, he's definitely slowing down 1.9 seconds, almost 2 seconds as we are on the Camel Straight and racing towards the Lake Combe chicane once again. Here we go. What is our second time going to be? It's going to be a 36.695. Perfect as we flip those two apexes perfectly and this third apex perfectly as well. Coming downhill towards the downhill right-hander. Maintaining the gap from Valtteri Bottas. Perez is still up in third place. I think he's dogging behind Valtteri Bottas. We go a bit wide there, but luckily we managed to keep the car relatively stable and still well ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton is down in fourth place. Again, he's still staying with Perez. So those three are going to be fighting a lot. I think we'll be able to stay up here though on our own at the moment, as long as we don't bottle our race. Coming towards this chicane, down to fifth gear, hit that apex, now hit this apex as well. Coming towards the right-hander once again, down to fourth gear, and we floor the gas. And as we come out of the right-hander to start with the back straight once again. Now watch the gap again, as Valtteri Bottas has now closed the gap to just under a second. And now he's going to start reeling us in ever so slightly, as the gap is now 7 tenths of a second. And here we go through Blanchimont. Can we keep this flat out? Yes, we can. Bottas though, look at the gap. It's already 4 tenths. He's really closing us. And I really hope he doesn't catch this on the last lap. Down to second gear. Hit that apex as well. Get on the gas early. Get away from Valtteri Bottas as quickly as you can. And he's 7 tenths behind us. So he could get DRS on this next straight, which is going to be crucial for him as it comes towards the source for one last time. Down in second gear, hit that apex, get on the power nest early, and get away from Valtteri Bottas as fast as we can, as we do stray away from the DRS. So he will be no threat to us through Eau Rouge, Raidillon, and the Camel Straight. Coming up through these corners, nice and easy. Thread the car in, and now coming on the Camel Straight, all alone for one last time. No DRS because obviously we don't have any cars in front of us. And Bottas seemingly struggling in this first sector, but we do manage to keep the gap as we now come towards the next corner. Now, down to fourth gear, clip that apex, and we clip this apex, and that was absolutely masterclass as we almost went wide, but we managed to keep the car on the car on rails, and I was a little scared there to be honest, but that's fine. As we now come towards the left-hander, flat out, and now coming towards the long left-hander again. The car is very responsive, and I'm feeling confident on this lap as you come through the left-hander, flat out, no need to lift. Now up to 7th gear, but you see the power unit is up to 40% wear. That just shows you how long Spa-Francorchamps is in the game. As we go to 6th gear here, and we clip this apex as well, and we are just flying through these corners faster than we usually go. Down to 4th gear, clip that apex, and now on the back straight, 45.172. That was an insane middle sector as it completely blew away from Valtteri Bottas. Now he should not have a chance to catch us on the back straight. But again, back to the power unit, 41%. This is a very long track, so it's very, very torturous on the power unit. 42%. It's so fast. I can't believe it's this fast. Anyways, Bottas is about 1.5 seconds behind us, but that's all right. Coming into the last chicane, one on time, down to second, clip that apex, now clip this apex, and we're gonna come across the line to win our, what is this, 5th race of the season? This is gonna be an insane win for us to come ahead of Bottas, Perez, Hamilton, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Norris, and Vettel, and then 2 others, which are going to be Ocon and Sainz. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.